Hello, good evening, and welcome to Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GWEL PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian, Port Services, MPS, and indeed Phoenix Insurance. The show is proudly powered by the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority-GPHA, and our media partner on this journey of a lifetime is the Business and Financial Times, the BNFT. And so if you want to have a grasp of all that transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you'll be able to see all that happened here on the show. We are streaming live on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are streaming live at Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are live at Port of Tema, and on YouTube, we are live at Iron Port. We shall be getting interactive with you, and all you have to do is send us your messages and comments ahead of the show via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0559 177 0559 177. And at the appropriate time, when I pick signals from the production team that the time is ripe, we shall activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Please stay with us.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm. sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week. And in the course of the week, one major activity happened, and that's the fact that the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, had cause to commission the expanded Elmina Fishing Harbour for the chiefs and people of Elmina. Let's take a look at this particular story.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Friday, May 26, commissioned the expanded Elmina Fishing Harbour with a promise that his government will continue to prioritize infrastructural development for the realization of the transformation agenda. According to the president, the fisheries sector is a very important one that contributes significantly to the gross domestic product of the country. Hence, the need to continually invest in the enhancement of infrastructure in the industry. The plan for the sector, according to President Akufo-Addo, is to help improve the catch of the fisherfolk, prevent post-harvest losses, and reduce fish imports.
This fishing port project represents a significant milestone and adds to the existing two fishing ports of Tema and the Sekondi Takoradi. We're also on course to complete works on the Jamestown Fishing Port, which will bring the total number of fishing ports in the country to 4. Government remains resolute and will continue to pursue programs and initiatives that support the growth of the fishing industry.
The Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mavis Hawakumsin, on her part, decried the numerous challenges that militate against government efforts to improve the sector, including illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing, and called for a stop to the trend.
Developments of landing sites and fishing harbors will be of no use if the fisheries resources are depleted as a result of illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing practices. Let us work together to harness the full potential of the Elmina fishing ports and ensure that it becomes a catalyst for sustainable growth.
The Minister for Transport, Kweku Fore-Siama, on his part, entreated the fisherfolk and the people of Elmina to lend their support to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority as they begin operations in the harbour. Kweku Fore-Siama particularly stressed the need for the fisherfolk to help managers of the harbour maintain it at all times.
GPHA na adifo fa ya maintain no na ya manimo mbeba dachi emenu habo no enumpo saban ya sika se de omani mutua no ya baba na sa betre mu bio because the baby maybe no we know eduma no beko so de sa asan ba aban san ba no be shemukina no ba na sa dia wa ya na say ya.
The cardinal objective for the expansion of the fishing harbour is to allow for the safe launching and landing of fishing craft while ensuring that the fisherfolk operate in a very conducive environment where fish are handled and processed in the most hygienic manner. The expanded Elmina Fishing Harbour is equipped with ancillary facilities including space for net mending, shops for the sale of fishing gear and equipment, a state-of-the-art ablution hall, a fish auction hall, an administrative block, and a daycare center, among others.
All right, welcome back. So that was one major event that took place in the course of the week in the central region, and we're now going for happenings in the port and shipping industry on the international stage.
Data from Clarksons, an international maritime consultancy, shows that the cruise industry is pushing forward with the uptake of alternative fuels as part of its decarbonization efforts, with 65% of the current order book being capable of running on alternative fuels. What is more, the focus of the new building interest has shifted to smaller expedition luxury units from the previous gargantuan floating cities to accommodate the shift in demand. The latest insights from Clarksons show that 9% of the existing fleet capacity is able to run on alternative fuels, while approximately 25% of the vessels have integrated energy-saving technology. The most prominent fuel in the existing fleet is LNG, with some projects in the making exploring methanol. Egypt's Suez Canal Authority on Thursday successfully refloated the bulk carrier G High Tone 23, sailing under the flag of Hong Kong that had run aground on the eastern side of the waterway. The salvage took place over 1 hour and 16 minutes through 3 tugboats, which towed the vessel to the Suez anchorage area in Ismailia. According to the Canal Authority, the incident occurred because of an engine failure during the ship's transit in the waterway. G High Tong 23 was among the northbound convoy as it had departed from the United Kingdom, having its destination at Saudi Arabia. The vessel's dimensions are 190-meter overall length, 32-meter beam, and a tonnage of 34,000 tons.
All right, welcome back. We're now going for the word of the day. And remember, the word of the day is fashioned to bring you up to speed with the terminologies and jargons we use in the shipping industry. And today's word is sister ships. Sister ships.
Sister ships are essentially vessels that appear indistinguishable in terms of class, design, hull, and superstructure, but which can vary significantly in terms of internal systems.
All right, so welcome back. We are now zooming into our discussion proper tonight, and tonight we're taking a look at the impact of the invigilation exercise being carried out by the Ghana Revenue Authority, and we're taking a look particularly in reference to revenue targets and how this has impacted the generation of revenue and to help or aid the GRA meet its revenue targets. You'd have heard that the GRA has dispatched men onto the field to perhaps pitch camps in some shops or, some of these huge departmental stores to assess how they go about their business and how they are complying with the value-added tax, that's VAT. Remember, there have been some modifications and amendments to it, and, this is supposed to generate some more revenue for the state. And the GRA has deployed a system. We're told that at some point in time that the Commissioner General of the GRA can sit back in his office, relax, and then is able to see whatever transaction is happening in every big shop we have here in Ghana, in real time, actually. And so if you walk into a shop and you are doing some purchases, and after that they're supposed to issue a receipt, and that's not a VAT receipt, the Commissioner General or officials of the GRA will sit back in the office and be able to tell that this particular transaction was not e-VATed, if I'm permitted to use that word. And so we've brought in to the studios Mr. Joseph Ajekwe Annan, who is the Accra Area Manager for the Accra Central Enforcement Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority. He's also a Chief Revenue Officer at the Ghana Revenue Authority to help us digest this particular topic and see what the impact of this particular invigilation exercise, which has been carried out by the GRA, has been so far in terms of their quest to meet revenue targets. And so let me say a very good evening to you, Mr. Ajekwe Annan, and welcome to Iron Port.
Thank you.
Your first time on the show?
Yes, very first.
All right. Okay, so here we have a tradition. We'll say Happy New Year.
Thanks, and same to you.
Absolutely. Great, good to have you. I see you are adorned in a very, very beautiful E-Levy T-shirt.
Yes.
With a GRA cap and all that. Can you tell us, we were told recently that the E-Levy has raked in some 861 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Yes. And so are you looking to increasing the figures by close of year?
Yes, that is to be expected, yes.
Okay. All right, so any projections for end of year E-Levy?
Yes, for now, let's do some more work on the invigilation. We'll come to that later.
Okay. All right. So tell us about this whole invigilation exercise, when it started, what actually necessitated it, and why you decided to embark on it.
All right.
And how it's
Thank you very much. Let me first greet your cherished viewers.
Yeah.
And also extend my tons of appreciation to my hard-working staff.
Right.
Committed and dedicated and selfless, to the extent that we even work weekends.
Right.
And also in the night.
Okay.
Yes, it's because of the activities that I've gained some relevance and presence to be here this evening.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I know they are not here with me physically, but they are here spiritually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, let me give a background too.
Please do.
Invoice invigilation.
Please do.
This tool is a compliance tool, which has been with us since the introduction of VAT as a tax type. But proud to last quarter of last year, we have used it to determine the basis for audit and also for registration of VAT.
Right.
There are times that taxpayer tells us its returns in terms of turnover is not up to the threshold.
Right.
But then we believe it qualifies. So then we'll station our men or women there for a month, because VST, the accounting period is for 1 month.
Right.
So we station our officers there to monitor their sales for a month to determine whether they qualify or not.
Whether they actually are able to meet that threshold.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes. And then secondly, to where we come in and taxpayers consult their records, and we want to be scientific in our projections. We station men there to determine how much the taxpayer is making for the month, and then based on that, we are able to do some scientific projections. These are just two of many other uses of the invoice invigilation.
Right.
But now, looking at the deepening in our revenue collection, so far as VAT is concerned, management with the board of GNR decided that we should use the invoice invigilation as an enforcement tool.
Right.
So now we've moved from compliance, using invigilation for compliance, to enforcement.
Okay.
So now we station our men there, and we go even beyond the month, just to ensure that for every sale that you make, you issue the VAT invoice.
Okay.
There are circumstances where taxpayers do carding. They put a card between the first page of our invoice.
Okay.
So that whatever is
like
written...
It's like a booklet.
It's a booklet.
Yes,
it's a triplicate kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have 2 carbonated pages, and one is what you issue out to the taxpayer, the client.
Right.
So then when you put a card between the first sheet and the rest of the sheets, when you write the details of it will not show on the second. So then when they have issued out the actual amount to the the client, then they take their time and write whatever figure they want to show to us. But with the invoice invigilation, the officers are there. So then this cannot be done.
Absolutely.
So these are the benefits that we are getting from this invoice invigilation. If I should speak to some figures.
Yes.
The last quarter of last year, I mentioned just 1 or 2 cases. We have a taxpayer who, proud to the invoice invigilation, was making actually the September returns. The declaration for output VAT was 33,738.63 in September. When the invoice invigilation was done on this taxpayer, the declaration shot up to 197,457.11.
That's when your officers went there and were present in the particular shop.
Exactly.
For a month.
For a month.
It shot up from 33,000
to
200 plus.
Yes.
Wow.
Almost 200.
Wow.
And then we have another taxpayer who happens to be a manufacturer. His sales shot up. He was doing an average of 3 million a month. It shot up from 3 million to 8 million.
8?
Yes, million.
8 million, 5 million difference.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can see the effect, positive, of course,
absolutely,
of the invoice invigilation.
Absolutely.
Now, what is happening is that we are doing 3 programs at the same time, because you realize that invoice invigilation is localized.
Yes.
We can't cover all the taxpayers. We have thousands and thousands of taxpayers.
Yes.
We don't have the strength and the numbers to be in every shop.
Yes.
So what we are doing is to manage the invoice invigilation with test purchase.
Yes.
That is mystery shopping.
Okay.
And then we also introduce the e-VAT. What is happening is that now we are doing close monitoring of their sales with our men around their desk, monitoring and also recording as and when sales are made.
Yes.
Now the e-VAT will in future replace the invoice invigilation.
Right.
Because they are all doing the same thing.
Okay.
Now we are doing the manual,
yes,
where human beings might be stationed.
Present, yeah.
But
absolutely,
in future, when the e-VAT is fully deployed, now it is the systems that will do the monitoring.
Right.
And we will sit in our offices and monitor, and we'll know whatever happens at the taxpayer's end.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then with the test purchase,
yes,
it's also geared towards the same goal. What it does is that, like I said, throughout what we have done,
yes,
for last year, we visited 200, approximately 200 shops. Those were the ones that we did the invoice invigilation on.
Right.
This is just a drop.
The ocean.
Exactly. Because if you look at the numbers of taxpayers we have around,
yes,
there are so many. Yeah. So we have introduced the test purchase, which goes alongside the invoice invigilation.
Okay.
So then you don't know who is buying from you.
Yeah.
And that is to promote voluntary compliance.
Yes.
Because then, once you know you can be caught in the web, you want to do the right thing.
Vigilant, yeah.
Exactly. And that is what we are doing to support the invoice invigilation.
Right.
And we also take along the media so that the whole nation will know what is happening.
Absolutely.
And now, even the public is also assisting.
Yeah.
Our own officers, no matter your division or your department, they buy, and if an invoice which do not comply with the invoice that the Commissioner General has sanctioned or approved of is issued to them, they send it to my office.
Yes.
For us, like I always say, we are men under instruction.
Yeah.
We work strictly according to the law. And when the cases are referred to us, we need to work on them.
Right.
Yes. So that is what is happening with the invoice in this. And I can tell you for a fact that the response has been very phenomenal in terms of what we have chalked last year.
Okay.
This year, we've just started. We started just in April.
Yes.
Yes. So we are here to put figures together.
Okay. So last year, can you mind sharing with us the figures you made for last year as a result of the invoice invigilation exercise?
All right. So then, like I said, we did about 200
shops.
Yes. And for September, the cumulative that we had from the 200.
Yes.
Actually, what happened was that the 200 is from September to December. But then we did 120 nationwide for September and October.
Okay.
So then for September, the total figures that were recorded for September was 56 million,
yes.
363,888.39. And then what the taxpayers declared was 45 million, 352,711.5.
Okay.
The difference is 11,176.89. That is for September.
Yes.
Then we come to October. We recorded, by way of invoice invigilation, 39,078,7 722.57.
Right.
And then they declared 33,283,213 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
So that too, we have a difference of 5.7 million, almost 5.8 million.
Yeah.
Then for November, December,
yes,
we limited our scope to just Accra. So we did 105.
Okay.
And for that, November gave us 101,166,868.22.
Right.
Against taxpayers' declaration of 86,538,090 Ghana cedis, 0.73.
Difference?
Giving a difference of 14,628,777.49. Then, come December, we had through invoice relations 66 million.
Yeah.
386,341 Ghana cedis, 12 pesos, against 46,000 million, sorry, 308,397.71, giving a difference of 20,077,943.41.
Right.
So the total for these 4 months came to 51 million.
Yes.
513,407.36.
Okay.
So this is what we got for.
You total all the differences.
Yes, put together. That is what we are getting
million,
as a result of the invoice invigilation.
Okay.
And then for the manufacturing sector, we did some work, and that one to give us for that period, the declaration was 15.6 million, and then we got 23.6 million as a result of the invoice invigilation.
A difference of about 8?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can understand if I say it's been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so what informs your choice of selection of the shops that you visit? You said you've done 200 shops.
Yes.
What informs your choice of the selection? What's the criteria for selecting the shops that you visit?
Yeah, what we do is, many of these retailers, they buy from the big shops.
Yes.
And the big shops too, they have this economics of scale.
Absolutely.
So obviously, they are able to buy at a cheaper price than these small businesses.
Yeah.
So we did more of the big shops.
Yes.
And then we mixed, because we didn't want to be like we were targeting them. So we mixed them up. But then many of them were the medium-sized businesses. Yes. 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 Yes, you see, like I said before, in the past, we were doing the invoice invigilation as and when we wanted to register somebody, we wanted to do audit. But now it's going to be part of our normal routine. It's going to be with us through and through. Yes.
Yes.
Just like any other tool that we use in the office. So we are going to do this thing throughout the end of year and even beyond 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think whilst we were speaking, I took note of something that you said, and the fact that you position your officers for 1 month and you see a vast difference. You gave the example of one particular shop,
yes,
which gave a particular figure, and then you realize that at the end of the month, the fellow shot up to like 100 plus million, another one 33, and that kind of thing. Now, you position your officers there for just 1 month, and what happens when they leave?
Yes.
How are you able to keep these people on their toes to ensure that they keep, doing what they're supposed to do, and that you keep receiving, perhaps not the exact amount.
Yes.
Sometimes there may be fluctuations.
Yes.
One particular month it might dip a bit, other month it might even slightly go above, but it shouldn't be remain the same.
Exactly.
For all the months.
Yes. In fact, what you just spoke about is what is happening now.
Right.
Because we've been there, the reality has dawned on them. And for that reason, they are now doing close to what we established together. Because when we do the investigation, we come out with our figures, we show it to them.
Yes.
So now what is happening is that they are also measuring up to that standard. So we realize that the first quarter of this year, it has been great for us.
Right.
Because it is very difficult for them all of a sudden to go back to their old ways.
To raise eyebrows.
Exactly. So it's been continuous ever since the Invigilation started. And of course, where we have issues, we see that there's a serious dip. We go in there and find out. And also, we don't just leave them, but we have recommended some of them for audit. Because if one man has given us this, what about the other months, the past months? So we are looking at all these. Yes.
Okay, so once you've been to the field, you've examined the books of some of these shops. You have a fair idea as to how much they're supposed to pay in terms of taxes and value-added tax and all that. Have you come up with any findings that you think that you can use to perhaps improve things?
Yes.
In terms of compliance?
Yes.
Yes.
For the findings are mind-boggling. Yes.
Let's hear them. The major
let
ones.
let me first maybe categorize them. Then we'll know what you're thinking. Now, this has more to do with the test spaces. I told you they are all geared towards the same goal.
Yes.
We have taxpayers who issue their own invoice. With this group, some of them are registered all right, but they are doing selective issuance. They issue our invoice and then they issue this. Then we have those who are not registered at all. Yes, that is the first group. Now we have another group who are using their own machines to generate the receipts. Now some of them are not registered, so they don't issue the VAT invoice. Some of them are not registered, but they issue the VAT invoice. So you ask yourself,
how do they get the invoices?
No, I'm sorry. They issue the till. I'm talking about where you use your machine to. Yes. So they are not registered, but then they are collecting the taxes from the taxpayers. This is a tax-related crime. We have that. We have those who are registered and they are not issuing. The till will be generated, all right, but there's no VAT. Then we have another group who decides not to issue anything at all. So you buy, they don't give you any evidence of payment. Yes. So we as an authority we want to put together, tailor-measured approach to deal with all these challenges that we have found out as a result of the test patches. Yes. So that is what is happening now. And beyond that, we have those who have issued the invoice, collected the money, and they don't declare as required. So we go into our system, you realize that they have not declared everything. So it's a tall order, but we'll surely get there.
How frequent or rampant would you say this particular phenomenon is, that people definitely try to cut corners, they try to beat the system, they try to conceal the actual monies that they are supposed to, render to the Ghana Revenue Authority in terms of value-added tax or taxes?
You see, VAT as a tax type, its management is a bit tricky. Why do I say so? You sell goods or you provide service. The money is paid to you, but your accounting is done the following month. You keep this money with you, then you assume it's yours. So paying becomes a challenge. You have to pay bills, you have to pay workers and all that. So before you know, the money is gone. So nobody comes to you, oh, let me wait next month. Nobody comes, let me wait the next month.
So they feel like you circumventing.
Exactly. Exactly. So where we have these systems working for us, like the EVAT and the rest, once you are not paying, you already have your declaration on our system.
Right.
So then it will trigger a follow-up. But now that we have the manual, it's a bit challenging. So you have people who have sold, they have some even go to the extent of even declaring, but the payment becomes an issue.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what is happening now.
Okay. So from what you have said so far, you would want to say that this particular exercise has been a success. It has actually ensured compliance or increased compliance levels as far as the VAT invoicing is concerned.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the those who are of the opinion that the exercise is actually crippling businesses. Have you heard that? Has that come to you?
Of course. It always comes to us.
Yes.
You know, we are also a conduit between, liaisons between taxpayers and management.
Yes.
Yes. So we take feedbacks to them all the time.
Yes.
But maybe let me probably explain issues, then you can deduce the answer.
Okay.
Yes. You see, VAT is a consumption tax. It's an indirect tax.
Yes.
And like all other indirect taxes, the incidence of the tax is on the consumer.
Okay.
It's on you and I who buy. So I cannot speak to the issue of businesses being crippled by VAT.
Yes.
Because what is happening is that you are selling your bottle of water 10 cedis. Then, depending on the scheme you are working with, whether it's flat rate or standard, maybe let's say flat rate, we say pay 3% plus COVID 4%. You add 3%, 4%, that is COVID and the tax on this bottle of water. The bottle of water is 10 cedis. 4% makes it 0.04.
Yes.
So you are selling it at 10.04.
Yes.
When you sell, give us the 0.04. That should not affect your profit margin.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's same with the standard too. It shouldn't affect, but like I said, the money comes to them. Everything. VAT, COVID, and then their own, amount in that bulk amount, the inclusive amount.
Yes.
So it gets to a point when they are taking out the VAT, they see it as their money that is being paid out.
Yes.
So probably that is how I see it. Okay. But of course, I don't manage their businesses with them, so I can't sit here and say it is not true or it is true. But I'm looking at the mechanism of VAT. That is so. If everything is being done the way it should be, then I don't think this problem should even come up for discussion. Yes.
All right. So you gave the examples. I mentioned them.
Yes.
This one would declare this, and then you go there, you move in there,
yes,
and the figure comes is different.
Yes.
It's actually on the high side.
Yes.
Do you have plans to go back and perhaps get some of these people to pay back? Because your findings are that they make more than what they have declared in the past.
Yes.
In our business at the post and with customs, there's what they call the post-clearance audit.
Yes, post-clearance.
Where even after 6 years, they can go back and audit a particular transaction and get some monies from it.
Yes.
Do you have plans to do such?
Yes.
Or you just go, the fellow says, okay, last month I made 33, and then you go and place your men there, and then you realize that, okay, the figure should be like 100. They're actually making 100, and then you leave it at that, and then you go. The subsequent months, it's like you just allow things to lie, and then they do the right thing. Or you can go back and tell them, okay, we are going to send you back to this particular month or this number of months. You are supposed to pay, some money to us.
Yes, what we do.
I don't know whether I make sense.
No, you make a lot of sense. Yes. What is happening is that once we see the deviation beyond 15%, then we recommend you for audit.
Okay.
Yes, because then once VAT is suffering, then obviously other tax types will also suffer.
Yes.
Yes. So once we see that the deviation is too much, then we recommend you for audit. So then they will go back maybe 2 years, 3 years,
yes,
to know what happened those years too. Yes. So we do that a lot.
And you're able to make some money from that?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right.
As I speak to you now, with the test purchase that we did, we got about 93 out of a sample size of 115. We got about 93 being non-compliant.
Okay.
Which works up to about 80.1%. All these will be taken through the process.
Right.
We have done preemptive assessments. The CID is taking their statements and they are building a docket.
Okay.
Yes. And then we have recommended them for audit.
Right.
Yes. Last year's cases, currently as I speak to you now, audits have started on some of them. Yes.
Yes. All right. So let's take a look at the fact that you've identified some of these intransigent, owners of shops,
yes,
and manufacturing companies and all that, and whether you have actually been able to take punitive measures or action against some of them, perhaps recommend some for prosecution. Has there been an instance where you have recommended a particular business owner for prosecution for perhaps, doing the wrong things?
Well, there have been some engagements.
Or trying to circumvent the system?
Yes, there have been some engagement between these taxpayers and then management.
Right.
They are asking for some leniency since this is the very first time, and they want to do better going forward. So I know there's some engagement going on. But as I speak to you now, I don't know what management has currently decided on. I know something, but it's not official.
Right.
I've not been written to. I don't have a copy of any correspondence between GRA and then these taxpayers. So I wouldn't say much about that, but I know there have been some engagement. They want us to show some mercy, and are promising that going forward, they will do the right thing.
No, that was going to be my next question. That we understand that the GRA has invited some of these shop owners to come for questioning with respect to their seeming non-compliance of the VAT invoice and all that. I don't know whether this has yielded some positive results, if they've come for these engagements with you, and whether they've been, some level playing field and they've been some consensus arrived at in terms of their quest to turn a new leaf and perhaps comply.
Yes. Maybe I went ahead of your question.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But exactly but the response is what, to your question, is what
Absolutely.
I said earlier.
Okay.
But I also know that, especially with the EVAT,
yes,
with every fresh, introduction,
yes,
you have teething problems that you need to deal with.
Right.
So they also use some of these problems
Yeah.
to drum home their demand or plea to us.
Yeah.
There were some challenges with, delays in the machine responding.
Yeah.
So there were times that you go to some of the shops and there was a long queue.
Yeah.
Because the system was slow and all that. Some claim they pay and it's not reflecting and all that. So management is looking at all that to see what they can do to, have some settlement between both sides. Yes.
Okay, so this one, I don't know. There are some who are of the opinion that some of your men sometimes get compromised. And so, it's like the fellow goes to the shop, is stationed there, and then maybe the shop owners are, okay, Charlie, this one there, give you kakrana chese. Have you had some of these reports?
Oh, several of them. And you know that it's a human institution.
Yeah.
So these are things that you wouldn't say doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But of course, when it comes to our notice and the officer in question is found out, he or she is disciplined.
Yes.
Yes. That is the most important thing. Once we are humans, definitely some of these things will happen. You can't say for sure 100%. Yes. But there should be checks and balances.
Yeah.
That should correct some of these,
Okay, so you earlier mentioned the fact that sometimes you go as a person, a member of the public, to buy something, and then these shops refuse to issue the invoices to you. They don't give you anything, and so you have no evidence or purchase.
Yes.
At all.
Yes.
What role do I have to play as a member of the public who is patronizing such a shop, who goes, pays some money,
Yes.
and no receipt or no invoice is given to me.
Yes.
And it's like, I just have to take my product, whatever I bought from there, and just walk away.
Yes.
What role do I have to play?
Yes, at times we receive calls from taxpayers, clients
Yes.
who have experienced such, deals with taxpayers. What we do is to just give us the location, because in our law, we have the right to swoop.
Right.
So when we have such situations, we just swoop.
Yes.
We pick your records, we come and examine them, then we match whatever we have against what we have declared.
Yes.
And then if there are, some deviations, we take you on. So that is how we approach. So because immediately you make demands on them that give me an invoice.
Yeah.
Then he knows you want to use the invoice for something. So he issue you the VAT invoice.
Yes.
Then you have no case. Yes.
So we have a role to play.
Yes.
Now, there's also this bit of whistleblowers.
Yes.
And some kind of incentive from the Ghana Revenue Authority for people who actually are able to blow their whistle. And when you zoom in and you realize that, okay, what the information the fellow gave is actually accurate or correct.
Yes.
And that leads to some collection of revenue. There's some percentage that's reserved for that particular person who blew the lid or the cover. Is that right?
Yeah, that is very right.
Okay.
But your information must carry some weight.
Absolutely.
We have had issues where people have come to us that a particular taxpayer is not issuing the VAT invoice. He has no receipts to show. And when you want to demand from him evidence that supports his claim, he tells you, give me money to go and buy, I'll come and show it to you.
Okay.
Things like this will not countenance.
Yeah.
And then we have some too who will come with some very, scanty information. But we are much more interested in those who know very much about these businesses they are talking about.
Yeah.
They know where records are kept, how they are kept, systems that are used, and all that. Once that is done, it makes our work easier. We are not going to now fish, but then we know the target.
Yeah.
We are just going to collect the fish. We are not going to fish for it. Yes. So then we go in there once we are able to establish some good recovery.
Yes.
And the payment is made. Because, mind you, we work on retention.
Right.
So it's not when we have established the liability, then you are being paid. We must receive payment, and then, depending on how much is recovered,
yes,
there is an amount that is given.
Okay.
It is not, whatever is given is not directly linked to how much is raised.
Okay.
There's a cap.
Okay.
So maybe if you raise, I'm just being
if I come to blow the whistle,
yes,
and you zoom in, and then you raise maybe 100 million.
100 million.
Yes.
Then
what's my percentage?
There's a cap.
Yes.
Yes. There's a table for that.
Okay.
I can't really talk to it now.
Okay.
Mention the figures. Okay. But there's a cap. When you do maybe 100 million, there's something that will be given to you. You do maybe 5 million, there's something, and that is how it's been done.
Right.
It is not directly linked.
Okay.
Say maybe a percentage of
the amount you recover.
Yes, that is not it. Yes.
Okay, that's right. So I've been told by the production team that we can activate the phone lines for you to call in. The number to dial is 020-552-8353. It's right on the screen, 020-552-8353, and you can call in and contribute to the discussion. We're having this beautiful discussion with Mr. Ajikwe Annan, who is Joseph Ajikwe Annan, who is the Chief Revenue Officer at the Ghana Revenue Authority, and he's the area manager for the Accra Central Enforcement. That's the VAT invoicing invigilation that they are doing, that's been carried out by the Ghana Revenue Authority. Remember, the cardinal objective is to ensure that shops and owners of businesses comply with the issuance of the VAT invoices. And so that's the discussion we're having tonight. And I'm sure if you're watching us from anywhere across the country or in any part of the world, and you can call in, that's the number right on the screen. Pretty shortly, it shall also be coming into the mailbox, so we can bring you all the messages that you have sent. We've received tons of them, and then we shall be coming to them pretty shortly. Maybe I should do some small messages, and then when we come back, I would like to find out from you what you do to businesses that are selective in the issuance of the VAT invoice. to their customers. I think initially you mentioned that some have two invoices, one VAT, one their own, and so they kind of like alternate. Yeah,
Yes.
if I get in there, they issue a VAT invoice. If a big goes in there, they issue their own invoice and all that. So perhaps that we'll see. Yes, I think that we have a caller. Let's see. Joe from Adenta is calling us. Let's welcome him. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. Please go ahead, Sir Joe.
I'm very impressed about the work that the gentleman on the studio is doing. In fact, we have had a lot of encounters, taxpayers with him, and the man is really doing very well. In fact, the man is doing very, very well. In fact, the area I am around Adenta Housing Down, he came there with his team, and in fact, the man is really doing well. We need to be protected. It's an asset to the state, and we need to protect him. This is the type of people we need in the system, and he must be commended for that. In fact, kudos to yourself and then the team that is working. We are very grateful for the education he's also doing for us, and then it should be extended to other areas in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, too. Thank you. All right, this one's from Bibi. I don't know whether Bibi is the same person as Joe. He says it's from Adenta. He says the GRA man is an asset to the state. He has passion for the job. He needs to be protected. He's total control of the job. He has total control over the job. Such a brave man. I want to believe that should be Joe that just called in, because the message is couched in the fashion in which he spoke when he called in. So you can also call in. The number is 020-5528-353, and then we should be able to hear you out with a submission. So let's, yes, what happens to such businesses who does this kind of selective invoice issuance?
Yes, like I said earlier, once you are registered, you are supposed to issue the VAT invoice at all times.
Right.
So once you fail to do that, then you have gone against Section 41 of the VAT Act.
Right.
Which mandates you to issue the VAT invoice or an approved invoice by the Commissioner General at all times. So once we come in there and you issue your own invoice, then of course, Section 58 of the VAT Act kicks in.
Yes.
So then you will be arrested, and then we'll establish a preemptive assessment on you.
Right.
This is to, the law is such that the punitive aspect of the law, which is the 58, is said that...
The punitive aspect of the law. Please, let's hold it there and welcome Eric. When we come back, we continue from there. Hello, Eric. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Great to have you. Please shoot.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Please go ahead, Eric.
Good evening, yes.
Good evening.
Yes, I buy some products. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I work as a carpenter.
Yes.
And I buy my products from a Turkish shop at Oyarifa.
Okay.
Yes, they don't issue VAT receipt.
Okay.
They issue their own receipt.
Right.
And what happens is that the products I buy in large quantities. Currently, I've bought about 6,000 worth of products from them.
Right.
I paid by Momo, and they did not issue a VAT receipt.
Right. Right. Okay. So behind the scenes, don't hang up. If you can give us the name of the shop, give it to my production team. They'll furnish Mr. Jekweanan with it, and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you very much, Eric. Remember, you can also call. The number is right on your screen. He's kind of like blowing a whistle,
yes,
like we're just talking about.
We received that a lot,
exactly.
So
yeah. So you were on a point of punitive section of the law.
Yes.
And I said you
exactly.
Let's continue from
there.
Exactly.
Yeah. What happens is that you have 100 penalty units.
Yes.
And the penalty unit, that is the maximum under the law.
Right.
That is what, and the penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis.
Right.
So you are looking at 1,002.
Yes.
Or an imprisonment not more than 3 months.
Right.
Now, or any tax that the state has lost as a result of the infraction.
Yes.
So we do this preemptive assessment to establish how much the state has lost.
Yeah.
So that, and the law is saying that as part of the punitive measures, you have 3 times that amount.
Right.
Once it is established.
Yes.
So the penalty.
So if you go into your findings and you realize that the state lost, let's say, about 600.
Yes.
That means that you'll be paying like 1,800.
Exactly.
That's 3 times, okay.
Just the penalty.
Absolutely.
Aside the preemptive that we have assessed, and that is to be paid immediately.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that is why we do the preemptive. Once that is done, then we also recommend you for full audit.
Yes.
And then the legal issues also kick in, where the CID, because we always go out there with the CID.
Right.
So the CID also takes your statement, because you will be arrested.
Absolutely.
The CID takes your statement. We also put our statement in, then they will continue with their investigations.
Yes.
They build a docket, and once that is done, they hand the docket over to our legal unit.
Yes.
For the legal unit to also continue with the process. So they will look at the merits of the case, whether the case will end up in court.
Yes.
Or probably settled out of court.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This one says, you said the GRA is coming up with a tailor-made approach to address these perpetrators. Can you share with us these measures, please? This one is from Kezia in Odoko.
Yes, what I'm saying is that we have varied and many outcomes as a result of the test pitches. So what I mean by tailor-made is that where the taxpayer is not registered, but is issuing the VAT invoice, it's a criminal offense. So we go in there, we don't look at any other thing, but look at those who are issuing they are charging and not paying. They are not even registered at all. Then we'll have other programs to also deal with those who are even using their own machines to generate receipts, but then they don't have any authorization. You understand?
Yes.
We also look at those who are not even issuing anything to taxpayers.
Right.
So it will be confusing if you go out there and you are looking at everything at the same time. So if I say tailor-measured, I mean specific program to deal with the specific situations or challenges.
Okay. Yes. All right. I've been told that we have to go for a break and then return. The calls are so many, and so we'll have to go for a break, and when we return, we'll continue to pick the calls. Remember, this is Eye on Port here on Metropolitan Television, and tonight we are discussing the impact of the invigilation exercise by the Ghana Revenue Authority and its impact that's on revenue targets. And we have Mr. Joseph Ajikwe Anan, who is the area manager for the Accra Central Enforcement, and he's also a chief revenue officer of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Let's go for a break. We'll return shortly, please.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Go Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Go Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Go Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Go Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs, Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, welcome back from the break. This is Ion Port, and tonight we are assessing the impact of the Ghana Revenue Authority Invigilation on shops in the country. That's with respect to the issuance of the VAT invoices. We're taking a look at this particular subject with Mr. Joseph Ajekwe Anan, who is the Accra Area Manager in charge of enforcement, Accra Central Manager in charge of enforcement, and he's also a Chief Revenue Officer at the Ghana Revenue Authority. Before I come to him in the studios, I understand we have Kwabna, who is calling us all the way from Dakuman here in Accra. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, and I'm glad to be on this show.
Thank you. We are proud to have you too. Please shoot.
You know, let me be very frank and let me take it from this angle. When some state institutions are not doing well, usually you get Ghanaians, bashing them.
Yes.
So I think when the state institution is equally doing well, we all have to give a thumb up to them.
Absolutely.
I do a lot of printing around the Newtown area. You know, it's a printing hub.
Yes.
And there's one thing I realized since September last year. There was a time I was going to print on a number of occasions. Usually I'm in Thai because of the work I do.
Yes.
And most of these guys, they always want to issue VAT, and sometimes I eavesdrop. And they tell, they talk among themselves.
Yes.
So when you issue VAT now, GRA will come at you or something. So you realize that everyone is jittery. Everyone really, really wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say that even if some people are not caught up with this invoice invigilation or this test purchase, I believe that the ripple effect is that now Ghanaians are getting to know that you ought to take your VAT receipt anytime you buy something.
Absolutely.
And for those businesses who are not issuing, now they know and they are on their alert that they have to issue. They are mandated by law to issue the VAT invoice at all times.
Yeah.
And so mine is to commend Mr. Is it Joseph Anan, right?
Joseph
I want to
Ajekwe
commend
Anan, yes.
the
Joseph Anan,
area enforcement manager.
Yeah.
he is doing a good job. He and his team. I do see them on TV doing some swoop and all that. I just want to call for God's blessing on them, because if we're able to take our taxes, I don't think we will ever go to the IRS. Do you think we would? And I think this is the time Ghanaians have to support the Ghana Revenue Authority, Mr. Joseph Annan and his team. Everyone needs to give them the support so that they can rake in the needed revenue so that we can develop our mother Ghana.
Right.
Can you imagine that even Kokompi, I'm a Dakuman guy, even Kokompi, even when I'm going to buy spare parts, now I see that most of them want to even issue VAT.
Okay.
And it's because they've all come into the awareness that they ought to issue VAT. And so I'll say kudos to GRA. Something is happening there, and I think the management there, from the Commissioner General to the last person in GRA, ought to be commended.
Right.
Many thanks for bringing me on the show.
Thank you very much indeed, Kwabna. A very, very valid point there. We're grateful to you for your call. You can also call. The number is right on your screen, 020-552-8353. We'll be glad to pick your call and hear you out. This one says, when will the GRA spread the invigilation exercise countrywide to cover all shops? Does the authority have plans for that? This one is from Frank in Adabraka.
Yes, we are looking at that. We are looking at, Accra is the hub of, business.
Yes.
So we've started with Accra, and we have plans of moving into the regions.
Right. Okay. Now you are, reported to have said that this exercise will, continue until sanity prevails.
Yes.
What do you mean when you say that?
Yes. What I meant was that we are on the field. And like I mentioned to you, we have a lot of infractions being caused by our taxpayers. Like I earlier on enumerated to you, we have people who are not even registered, and they are charging and collecting VAT.
Yes.
And the others that I mentioned.
Yes.
So what I meant by that.
Yes. What I meant by that.
Yes.
Hold your fire, sir.
All right.
We'll return. Okay. We're picking a note from Medina. Good evening, sir.
The others that I mentioned.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. Please go ahead. We're glad to have you.
Yes. My issue about GRA. I have some slight to GRA.
Okay, that's Emmanuel. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I registered a farm 2016. 2017, I called in. I didn't even start the farm. Then I realized that they start sending me message for tax to declare tax.
Right.
The farm self have not even started. So what I want to talk is that they should make this in. They should try their best to wake up from their armchairs. The farm self have not even started.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So that they can check before they start issuing
notices for VAT returns.
Notices for tax declaration.
Tax returns. Okay. Okay. All right, so you get it.
Yes, I didn't get it.
He registered a farm, and he had not even started a farm, and he started receiving notifications from GRA to declare his tax and all that. And so he wants you to actually always come on the field and be setting, go to the business, find out whether the business is actually in operation before you send out notices for tax declarations and all that.
That's true, but you see, I don't know how he didn't even make any attempt of registering with us.
Hello.
Oh, he said he registered.
He registered.
Yes.
You see, when you register.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. Who's on the line now?
My name is Kweku, calling from Pokuati.
Sorry for interrupting. When will come you return? I think you still have 2 issues you have to deal with. So note them down when will come you. Yeah, Kweku,
Hello?
yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm very grateful for the education you've given us. I will advise that going forward, you invite GRA more to come to educate us on these issues. So that we, the laymen, when we go out to buy, we know that we have to insist on our invoice to take a GRA invoice, but not the individual's own invoice. So I'm very grateful for bringing the GRA officer to come and educate Ghana to actually bring more money to the state.
Yes.
Because when you educate the individuals, that is when we go out there, we also do the right thing. We insist on our invoice.
Right.
So that it will build Ghana up, you understand?
Yeah.
So I think it's a very good education you are giving us. Shout out to all of you. I'm very grateful.
Thank you very much, Kweku. We are deeply grateful for your call. Yes, so you were making a point.
Yes, I'm saying that once you register with us and your business has not started, the system will generate the returns.
Right.
So all you do is you file nil.
Okay.
Because VAT is a transactional tax.
Right.
If you have not done any business, you don't pay anything.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
So the returns will come. But you will have to indicate nil.
Right.
Because once you fail to even do that, it comes with a penalty.
Right.
If you don't intend starting the business anytime soon, you write to us officially that you have ceased or you have not started business. Maybe you start sometime next year or next 2 years. So once we get that letter from you, then we will cease printing of your returns.
Right.
But if you stay and assume that because you are not working, you don't have any obligation towards GRA, then the returns will come.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go on to the phone lines. Eric from Accra is calling us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good to have you. Please shoot.
Yeah, actually, my contribution is the way they are using the security apparatus to harass Ghanaian-owned businesses. Sometimes when they get to the shop, at least they should come down and make it a little bit friendly. But if it becomes so scary and it looks like a highly criminal activity that is going on, without inviting the owner of the shop to sit him down and talk about it, at least it makes doing business becomes unfriendly.
Right.
And it makes the GRA look scary. Because last time at Osu, you see the way they approach the whole system like very scary. And I think it impedes doing business and it makes doing business scary.
Right.
So sometimes it's about negotiation and talking to the people for them to understand. Then the next piece of it comes on.
Absolutely. You are right. Thank you very much. I think it's a very, very valid point.
It is, but we have another angle to it.
Okay. Let us know what that is.
Yes. You see, the infraction has been caused. Now we are there to arrest.
Right.
Now you go in there, and of course, human as they are, they resist.
Okay.
At times, they attack us.
Okay.
There have been instances, we don't just go out there with security.
Right.
Just for nothing. You
try
have
to do it on your own.
out of the past.
Yes.
Some of us have been beaten. Last year, dogs were released on us.
On you, okay.
Yes. Recently, just last week, we got into, somewhere around Spintes, we got in there, the security man was slicing watermelon.
Yes.
He had the knife in the right hand and then water in the left. We got there and he was resisting us. So then there was a little bit of scuffle. Then one of the security men had to take the knife away because he was about
attack,
exactly. He could have attacked us. So it's not for nothing that we go with security.
Right.
You understand? Because the work we are doing is for all of us. But we are the face of GRA. So GRA has no face other than the workers.
Yes.
But you go in there and you are being attacked. So we must also secure ourselves.
Yes.
We don't come brutalizing people, but we want to secure ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that is what happens.
Okay. You were the other time you were on why you said the exercise will continue until sanity prevailed in the system.
Exactly. Yes. What I meant by that is to keep on the heat and the momentum until these infractions are reduced.
Yes.
Of course, it can't be totally taken out of the equation. Definitely, there will be some infractions. But look at the situation where we have done a sample size of 115, and you have about 93 being non-compliant. This is just too much. It's just too much. It's reading up to about 80.1% non-compliance. So obviously, we need to do these things for some time until we see some reduction in the kind of figures we are seeing.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Now, can you give us, by way of figures, how much the state loses, as a result of non-compliance or non-issuance of VAT invoices by businesses?
Yes, that would be far-fetched because until you go in there and perform an audit. It will be very, very difficult to establish that figure or amount.
Right.
But what I can say is probably look at the growth of VAT from 2021 through to last year.
Yeah.
We have 2021 against 2020, there was a growth of 27%.
Yes.
Now come 2021 to 2022, we have 29.7%. And this year we have a target of 84%.
Okay.
Yes. So you could see that we are gradually moving up. And I'm sure that now that we are out there, because we just started the invoice invigilation and these test patches and all that just last quarter of last year. And look at the effect on the collection.
Yes.
I want to believe that now that we've started the second quarter through to end of year, I'm sure we will surely be able to achieve this 84% or even go beyond that.
Right. Yes. Now, how many shops are you looking at in all? Somebody sent a message and you answered that when you're going to deploy your men into the entire country, you know, to invigilate and to ensure that there's that level of compliance that we all desire in order to get the necessary revenue for national development.
Yes.
You mentioned you've done 200 shops already, and I know you have a fair idea as to how many shops we have in all in our country, how many companies or registered businesses we have, where you have to go in and all that. Tell us, I mean, how many you are looking at, you know, as far as this invigilation exercise is concerned?
Yes, for now, we are trying to work on the, you know, issues with the EVAT so that we quickly deploy. You know, we had plans of deploying, bringing in about 600 taxpayers. 600 taxpayers. Yes, so let's hold it and then go to Malam and welcome Tony. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. First, that when they call, they should put the volume of the TV off as I did mine.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Good.
Sure.
I want to just advise DRA. They should focus on hotels. I travel a lot.
Okay.
And at times a hotel, you know, if you don't want to sleep, you can go. Apart from the big hotels in Accra, they used to a genuine invoice or receipt. So when you travel outside, you see that they will take you, maybe I'll pay 900, and they'll give you. Even there's no receipt. They just book it your name. Even at times they won't ask of Ghana card. So they should at times just travel themselves and go and sleep there. Like they should disguise themselves and sleep there, and they will know what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's all. Yeah, okay. I'm down.
All right. Tony, thank you very much. You called us all the way from Malam. We're grateful. Yes.
Advice well taken.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. So you're on 600 taxpayers?
Yes. So that was the intention of GRA, to bring on board about 600 taxpayers. But like I said, with the first 50, we had some little issues with the software. So we are trying to take care of those issues. Then we'll deploy to many more taxpayers, because the invoice invigilation, we can't continue on that path throughout it, because looking at the numbers involved, you look at the taxpayers involved, we can't deploy our officers to all businesses across the country. So it is the EVAT that will do the trick for us.
Yes. The EVAT?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Initially, you mentioned it.
Yes.
That when it comes into force, then you withdraw your men,
exactly,
because that's going to be the main. Okay, and so nobody can cheat once it's electronic transactions.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Okay, so you are not going to be able to give us timelines as to when you are getting the men across the country.
No, we are working the books. Once we are ready, we'll let you know.
Okay, so in the coming weeks or in 7 weeks, what are we going to be looking at? What will we be doing?
Yes, we'll still be doing the invoice simulation. We'll still be doing the test patches.
Yes.
Because the test patches has a far-reaching effect. because of the media, your help.
Absolutely.
We reach every corner of this country.
Yes.
So we continue to move in that direction. So end of year and even beyond the year 2023.
Right. Beyond the year 2023?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so before we started, you said we were going to go into the issue of the e-levy. We know some 861 million has come in.
Yes.
From which period to which period?
No, from beginning
till now.
Yeah, till now.
And you're looking at increasing the numbers before close of year.
Hopefully.
What target are you looking at before the year closes?
Yes, I don't have that with me now.
Yes. Okay. That's quite diplomatic. I love that, Mr. Anand. All right, so would like you to put out a number where people can actually reach you, because I think there are a lot of calls coming through.
Yes.
But we don't have enough time here.
Okay.
And so you can put out a number so that people, those who are calling in and wanting some, to put across some issues that they have, can actually call you directly, or if there's a toll-free line that you'd like to share with them so that they can reach you.
They can use my number.
That would be okay. Yes.
Okay.
So you can
0244.
Yes.
666.
Yes.
804.
0244.
666.
Yes.
804.
666-804.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So somebody's watching us now, and the fellow is a business person who is willing to issue the VAT invoice. Like one of the callers says, he goes to Konkompe, he goes to the other places, and he sees the people's genuine willingness, the traders' genuine willingness to issue VAT invoices, but perhaps do not have these invoices. How do such people reach you in order that they would be roped in?
Yes.
You just mentioned the element of roping in 600 taxpayers. How should they go about it?
Yes, they must get to the nearest taxpayer service center, and they will be taken care of. So if you happen to be around the Kokompe area, then you look at either Achimota or Kanishin or Mataiko. You look at where you feel it will be convenient for you. We have our offices all over. So you look at where it will be convenient and closer to your place of work.
Right.
And then go to them. They will help you with every issue that you have.
Right. Now, roping in 600 taxpayers, how many taxpayers do we have as of now?
We have, I don't want to conjecture, so we can leave that one out for now.
Okay. But you have an idea that, 600 is what you target?
What I'm saying is that we want to put 600 on the e-VAT.
Okay.
We have thousands of taxpayers.
Absolutely.
Yes, but we want to put 600 on the e-VAT. It's a new system. So we'll be putting more taxpayers on.
How many are on it now?
50.
50?
Yes.
Okay.
And we plan putting 600. But like I said, the system has run for some time. Obviously, it's a new system.
Have you piloted it?
Yes, we started last year.
The pilot, okay.
We started, I think, October.
October last year?
Yes, last year.
And from
it's
October
working so well.
October through to now, almost 1 year, we have just 50. That's quite abysmal.
No, like I said, we started, at times you start a program, and it is when it is run that you see some downsides to the program.
Okay.
And you want to correct them before you bring more people on board.
Okay.
Yes, because you do that, if you don't take care of those shortfalls, and then you bring more, it complicates the problems for you. So you want to dot the I's and cross the T's, and now we can bring in some more.
What are some of the pertinent issues that you have come across that seems to be challenges as far as a smooth implementation of the
Yeah, like I said, delay in generating the receipts and all that.
Okay.
At times, network issues and a few others. At times, they claim they have paid and it's not showing and all that.
Right.
So these are things that has been investigated and is being worked on. Yes.
All right. I'm glad that during your initial submission, you paid glowing tribute to your men whose support has led you to such remarkable achievements and feats as far as this particular exercise is concerned.
Yes.
I just want you to perhaps tell the Ghanaian people what they should expect and why they should lend you their support.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Yes, all I would say is that it is taxes that builds a country. We are just employees of GRA, and GRA is for Ghana. when we collect taxes, it's for all of us. So they should bear with us when we come to them. I believe strongly that it is better for us to pay the taxes now than to go for loans with interest, and we use same taxes to pay.
Absolutely.
This time we are going to pay with interest. So then you ask yourself, why do you incur more costs when you can take it straightly? You can take it straight and use it to do developmental projects.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when we go for the loans, we'll still have to come back and take taxes to pay. So please, let's all put our hands together, take care of the taxes that are applicable to our businesses. And once everybody is paying, you see that the rates will come down.
Absolutely.
But because many are not paying, the few that are paying, you and I, who are in the formal sector, they are always the PAYs and everything is going. So then you realize that a few have been taxed. Whilst others go free.
Absolutely.
So if everybody is doing its little bit, I believe the rates will come down and Ghana will be better off.
Will be fine. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Ajekweadan, who is Area Manager, Accra Central Enforcement, Ghana Revenue Authority. He's also a Chief Revenue Officer. We say big thanks to our sponsors, Ghana Revenue Authority, GWEL PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, indeed, Phoenix Insurance. We entreat you to keep watching the rest of our programs and also watch the abridged version of Iron Port on Wednesday at 8:30 on Ghana Television. My name is Kennedy Mona. God willing, next week we shall bounce back with another wonderful edition of Iron Port. Good evening and enjoy the rest of the week ahead.